welcome to the second last episode of this series of ENTECH TV. The ENTECH trade show is not far away now, so make sure you put in your diary the 19th to the 21st of July at the Sydney Convention Centre. And also, because we are co-locating with SMPTE, this year's ENTECH trade show is expected to be huge, so don't miss out. In this episode, we will be talking to Chris Higgs via Skype from England, who'll be chatting to us about safety in rigging and what to expect when he speaks at the ENTECH trade show. Also, we go out on location with Terry Owens from Beanstalk Productions, and he shows us how his business looks after the pubs and clubs in Melbourne, with PAs and lighting. But first, the ENTECH crew went out to Screencom and spoke to Geoff Hunter about how their business of large screen monitors is growing from strength to strength.
Screencom Visual Communication Systems, as the name implies, we specialise in the hire and sales of visual and communication display technologies to the audio-visual and exhibition industries. We're in our 12th year of operation internationally. We opened our Melbourne office 2.5 years ago. Some of our partners, we've helped them provide displays for the Australian Open, the Australian Grand Prix, the Avalon Airshow, the Logie Awards, and numerous events and exhibitions that have been on over the last few years. There's two actual divisions to the company. We have the rental side of things, which provides the visual support, but we also do the sales side, so we provide a lot of switch and control and distribution gear to installers for the installation industry. So with the larger display plasma screens, they come on a motorised lifter, makes setup a real breeze. It's basically wheel it in, you put it in place, lifts itself out of the case, you're set within 20 minutes and the client's happy displaying their images. Now these screens can be rotated quite easily from a landscape to portrait. It's just a case of undoing two handles on the back of the screen here and it will rotate around. When you rotate it like that, the screen can be lowered back down onto the base and it is a good sort of banner or advertising type look. So if you put it, say, at an entranceway to an exhibition, it's a great way to put large recognition of your sponsors of your exhibition. In bright lit situations where these technologies might not be the most suitable application or you need a larger size, we do modular video wall technology as well, so we can provide solutions pretty much for any situation. Our standard size monitors like 42-inch and 50-inch, we provide those to exhibitions. They're on a portable monitor stand. They can be wall mounted of course, but with the portable stand it means we can actually set up screens in an external area and then wheel them into where they're actually got to be set up. This stops clutter. Also means that if the client isn't happy with the positioning of it, say halfway through their exhibition, they can quite easily themselves move the screen to wherever they want within their stand. We've actually got a range of high brightness LCD monitors. They come in a variety of sizes, pretty much 32 up to the 65-inch. They use a new type of technology that actually absorbs ambient light into the screen and reflects it back out to reinforce the luminosity of the image. We import a wide range of mounting solutions as well. Abtus being the main brand that we import for our mounting solutions. Now we also do mobile plasma stands. They're very popular for hire companies, education facilities and the hospitality market. With education, whereas they used to have to try and have a screen in every room, they now can have the one screen and wheel it around between classrooms as it's needed. They're fully height adjustable as well, so if you're dealing with a class of grade 2s, you can lower everything down on the stand so they can work with it quite easily. When you wheel it into your grade 6s, of course they're taller, so you can lift the screen and everything up and it's at the right height for them to work with. We've got Abtus, Opticus and Spider AV networks. They do all different types of distribution solutions. The Abtus products with their Cat5 extenders, they've been very, very popular. We've got extenders that can do up to 30 kilometres. We do the hybrid optical fibre optic cables, and We've recently introduced fibre extenders, format converters, hybrid optical cable and VGA, DVI, HDMI or modular matrix switches. Screencom will continue doing the visual support role to the Australian AV and exhibition market. We feel that, supporting the industry with the newer technologies, we can sort of help improve the industry for everyone.
World-class manufacturers depend upon National Audio Systems, Australia's #1 distributor of pro and commercial audio. You can achieve great things with the right products, people and professionals. National Audio Systems.
Welcome back. Chris Hicks from Total Solutions Group in England will be a keynote speaker at the ENTECH trade show. We are fortunate enough to have Chris on the line from Birmingham. Hi Chris, thanks for joining us on ENTECH TV. Could you explain to us what you'll be talking about at the ENTECH trade show?
Well, I think there's two major topics I'm going to talk about. One is the perennial source of interest to all riggers everywhere, which is working at height. And the other one is more of an interest that I have, really. It's more to do with the safety culture that exists in the entertainment industry. It's something that's always fascinated me, the way we approach our work, the sort of risks we're prepared to take because we enjoy what we do. And I think it's the sort of thing that most people in the audience will relate to straight away. And it'd be interesting to see whether the kind of the direct opposite country in the world, if you like, geographically, whether the same attitudes, the same understanding prevails, really.
Is there a difference between the OH&S protocols in Europe and the protocols in Australia?
Well, it'd be really interesting to find out from my point of view. I think we, in Britain anyway, we probably suffer a little bit with this risk-averse nature, which I suspect probably doesn't exist in quite the same way in Australasia. I don't know. We'll find out. I'd like to think it doesn't, because I think we've lost a little bit of our sort of can-do attitude to life, if you like. I've got some family connections with Australia, and I think from what I know, people generally are probably a little more self-reliant, shall we say, a little more resourceful perhaps, and maybe have a sort of maybe a new world approach to life, perhaps something that we've lost.
With your extensive knowledge in rigging, do you find many differences in safety between jobs?
Well, I guess there's a lot of sort of bleed through from the other topic, really. It's the sort of thing that I think we're all aware of, and we're not allowed sometimes to do the sort of thing that we know actually isn't that risky. And it's how you pass on the good bits and leave out the bad bits to the next generation. And I think we're in the entertainment business, we're still a fairly new industry. And finding our way even now, sort of 30, 40, 50 years on. And I think, for kids coming through college or internships or whatever, it's really important that we actually are able to explain to people what the real risks are, rather than end up, as I think we have in the UK to an extent, the sort of situation where teachers are actually discouraged from taking kids into the outdoors because they're worried not so much about the danger, it's just being sued if it goes wrong. Which is understandable on one hand, but on the other hand, it kind of doesn't do you any favours, I think. So it'd be really interesting to hear how you deal with a lot of the similar things in Australia, because gravity, I guess, is the same.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Chris, and we look forward to seeing you at the trade show.
It's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to it very much.
To make sure you secure your seat in Chris's session or one of the many inspirational and informative sessions on the ENTECH education program, visit the ENTECH website on www.entechintech.com today. An optical fibre is a flexible, clear fibre made up of pure glass or silica and is not much bigger than a human hair. An optical fibre works as a wavelength or light pipe to transmit light from one end to the other. Optical fibres and their applications are known as fibre optics. Fibre optics are becoming more prevalent in the audiovisual industry due to their clarity and distance that the transmitted light can travel. Fibre optics typically consist of a transparent core surrounded by a cladding material with a low index of refraction. This low index of refraction makes sure the light travelling along the fibre doesn't lose its intensity, thus sustaining its integrity. Fibre optics are used for numerous applications in the audiovisual industry, like vision projectors, cameras, communications, interface communications, and audio applications. The most widely used application for fibre optics is the transmission of a video feed through either the internet via streaming or from a video source to visual monitors or recorders. Fibre optics have become a vital part of the audiovisual industry, and as technology advances throughout the years, fibre optics will be a part of everyday life.
Welcome back. The live music industry is the bread and butter of our industry. Not all bands play at large venues that hold 20,000 people. Most of them play at venues that hold only up to 1,000. This is where the sound and the lighting becomes grassroots and the audiences are more intimate. Terry Owens takes us through how he set up the PA system and lighting for the Chelsea Heights venue in Melbourne.
Beanstalk Productions is a commercially based audio and lighting installation company. We look after lots of hotels, pubs, clubs, cafes. Basically we offer a 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week breakdown service, as well as the initial installation and program maintenance of that equipment. Clubs we look after range in size from say 200, 250 right up to this venue we're in here today is licensed for 1,000. We're not really brand specific. We're quite happy to use whatever brand's available at the time. We've used JBL, we use quite a few local products as well. Once again, it's all very much depending on the client's budget. If the client just doesn't have the budget for the high-end market, we also have a look at some of the lower-end products which also offer a very good value for money. Also have fairly good backup through ULA, and once again, and they're people that they send out on jobs to have a look at it for us. At the back there, we've got pretty much all the amp racks all setting up in the one area, plus we've got the lighting dimmer racks and all the digital interface for all the DMX equipment. So yeah, let's go over and have a look. Okay, what we're looking at here is front of house rack. As you can see, all EV series. We always set up ourselves with a mains 3-phase power board. Everything's switched off that, so once again it's nice and simple for staff to come in who aren't trained in the industry but have to know how to turn these things on and off. They can just come in, turn on the mains, instructed them all how to turn on amplifiers and turn them up, and that's really all they need to do for a day-to-day operation. In this particular venue we've got 4-way DJ points, so we can have the DJ set in any one of 4 positions around the room. Likewise, that can be for your lighting operator as well. So they just come in, they select whatever position they want the DJ to be set in, and that's where they operate for that night. DX38 processors, once again all EV, they're all locked away and set. I think these days to be able to say to a hotelier, you can pretty much say to them, look, we can get every last amount of power out of this system. At the same time, we can also keep it safe as well, and they like to hear that. Realising that a nightclub situation where there aren't industry-based people in the room, touring, etc., the people who are turning on the PA are people that mainly work in gaming rooms or might be hotel assistant managers who aren't versed in the equipment the way that people in our industry are. So we try to keep things as simple as possible, and they appreciate that. Obviously then all front of house, all EV, P-series amplification. Once again, find it very robust in a situation like this. You can extend out their service times a little bit longer than what you normally would. This particular venue here, like I said, we're licensed for about 1,000. This PA will quite comfortably service up to around about 700 in a front of house band situation. Obviously that the larger A tours always travel with their own gear anyway. But all the B tours that are playing to upwards from 350 to 500 heads in the room, no problem, and they've all got back to us saying they love the system, it works great. EQs here, everything we're looking at here is 4 sends of fallback, all operated. We do have a split on the multi-core, a 40-channel split. The way that we've set this particular venue up is 4 sends off the front of house desk. We run an Avalon Heath GL2400 32 frame, which is an honest little desk, and it's shown good service now. It's been in here for over 12 years, and we haven't had to do any work to that yet. We've got the EV wedges over here, once again the 12 and the 2-inch horn wedges with the Mongoose drum fill. 6 wedges across 3 sends, and the Mongoose drum fill for up the back. The EV is of course known for their clarity in their top end, and for fallback speakers are a really honest little speaker. Okay, so what we've got here is the house lighting rig for both the moving lights for the nightclub as well as our analogue and LED lights for up on stage for entertainment. We're running the Jansz DD8 for the moving lights out in the room. We've got about 5 or 6 sends coming back to here. They're basically splitting through the moving lights throughout the nightclub. It pretty much is a 2 light show system in this room, one designed specifically and utilised only for the nightclub. The other one's utilised for the bands. Here we're using 12 channels. We've got a total of about 30 cans out there at the moment, so we do have some channels spare. Mixture of par 64 rays as well as full WFL globes as well. And we've also run, out of that, we're running a loop out to 8 LED par 64s, which are all running as a single assignment on the next bank of 5 channels. We do provide lots of lighting bars here, which always goes in as part of the original install, so there's not many ways an LD can come in here and not hang a light show. We do have bars aplenty around the stage. So what we're looking at here is basically the blank canvas that the hotel runs with, which does give you a lot of scope for your smaller tours. And obviously any of the larger shows that come in, the guys always de-rig or re-rig according to how they want their show to look.
If you're building or outfitting a stage, why deal with multiple providers? Jansz do everything from drapes to machinery, from engineering to installing. Best of all, with Jansz you're dealing direct with the factory. We build to Australian safety standards. We have project managers, structural and electrical engineers, fabrication and installation teams with hundreds of years' experience between them. Whether you just want a set of curtains for the school hall or a completely automated stage for a world-class theatrical venue, Jansz provides your complete staging solution.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of ENTECH TV and look forward to you joining us on our last episode for the season next month on the internet's best entertainment technology show, ENTECH TV. Bye for now.